Yeah, hello learners. In the previous session, in the previous video, we have talked about some modify commands in the sketch mode. Now we are going to try to understand the some constraint options. Okay, so the constraint options are helpful for you to ease your work. That how the things. Let's start with an example. Let me take one of the rectangle. Okay, I draw one rectangle. So and simply press escape button to come out from that. Now here I can see that this rectangle does not have any kind of constraint. I can easily stretch this width, this length. Okay, I can easily stretch their width and length like this. Okay, so how I can restrict that? Okay, if I want to restrict this length, so I need to define some length. Okay, I can define some length from my side. So I can say that this length should be something fixed. So how I can define that? Simply click on this line, right click. You have an option for the sketch dimension. Okay, you can see that there is a shortcut key D. So you can simply press D also. Let me take that as a dimension. So currently it is when I click on that, so it show that 125. Let me fix that 125. You can see that there is a cursor. We have an option for this sketch object to dimension. Click on that. Let's say I will define 90 over there. Okay. So now with the help of this, so this is a one type of a constraint. It's called as a dimension in which I need to define the dimension. That is a very basic one. So according to that, now I fixed that both of the dimensions. So still I am able to, this length is going to move. But when I just simply drag it, so I can see that this rectangle is complete rectangle. I am able to move easily over this entire area. So how I can fix that? So we have some multiple options over there by which we can fix our these rectangle as a fixed body or a fully constrained body. There is a one more option by which I know that where is my origin. So if I able to define, okay, what is the distance from this origin to this length, if I'm able to define it by the dimension also, I can make it a fully constrained. How I can do that? Just sketch of the dimension or simply press D option. So this, now you can see that. Here you can define, okay, 90. Here you can also use as a calculator. You can simply define the expression over there. Now here I need to define this 125 with respect to the origin. So simply define 125 by 2. Now once you have done with that, so you can see that the complete border of that particular rectangle turns to black. It means that it is fully constrained now. Now I'm not able to extend any part of that. Okay. So this is the first thing you have to achieve during the sketching or something. So this is the first thing you require to do that. So this is the one of the way by which we can define. Let's try to understand some more of the constraint. The first one we have the horizontal and vertical. Let's make an example of that. Okay, if I have some kind of a close shape like this. Okay, I have created that, but I want these two length will be a horizontal and vertical to make a complete rectangle. I want to turn that sketch into the rectangle or a square. If the length are equal, it will be a square. So how I can do that? Simply click on this horizontal and vertical, select one each and every edge. So it will automatically detect that which is far nearer to the vertical or horizontal, it will automatically convert into that. And you can clearly see that we have some these constraint icons or constraint symbols are visible to you with respect to each line. Simply, you can also see in the previous sketch as well. When I draw for the rectangle, so it will automatically come with these constraints. Okay, so this is one of them, vertical and horizontal, how we can convert that. Coincide constraint. Coincide constraint means that, okay, I have fixed this. Let's take an example of, let me take a circle. I want to move this point over this one of the corner. So let me take it coincide constraint, start point, end point. So this is helpful to shift over a complete sketch with respect to the point to the point. So when you have the condition like from the point to the point to you have to move the body or something or coincide that. So this coincide constraint will be work. Another one we have the tangent constraint. Let me take an example, a good example like we have a, let's suppose I have two circles of unequal diameter and I have two lines like this. Okay, I have these two lines and I want to make a constraint between that. Just a little mistake, I want to delete that. Okay, so how I can do? I can simply go to the tangent constraint, apply to this, apply the line and select the another one. With respect to that, apply the tangent constraint, then select and apply the tangent constraint. Now here you can see that it will be covered. And if I want to make a one continuous one, so what can I do? But yeah, here you can see that we have some gap, but still it is a constraint one. So here I want to say I can use the extend option to extend this one. Okay, so now I can see that. Okay, now I can use the trim option to just remove these extra part. But still you can see that it is not going to be deleted because we have some extension over there. So use the trim option to restrict up to this curved surface. Similar, I need to check. So this example is generally I'm using for understanding this trim, extend, and the tangent constraint in a good way. So now here we have a complete sketch like this. Another option we will use having a equal option. Let's say uh, if I want to say I have a rectangle, if I define a one rectangle and I want both sides will be equal. Okay, so whatever the dimension I will provide, so I will use D option as a shortcut. If I define okay 90 over there, so the another dimension also could take it as a 90. Okay, so equal constraint are used. Another one we have a parallel. If I want to draw a line parallel to with reference to some other one, let me take a line like this. I want a line parallel to this one. Select the parallel constraints, line and line. So you can see that you can see after applying the constraint, you can see we have some icon over there. So which constraint we have applied over like this. If I want to remove that, I can also delete that constraint as well. Now you can simply, uh, this is a way by which we can remove the constraint as well. Another one constraint, we have option for the perpendicular constraint. If I want to draw a line or something, let's take a line and I want this line should be perpendicular to this one. So let me try this. So it will draw one perpendicular line, make a perpendicular relation between them. Another option, we have the fix option. Fix option is used, let's say again an example of a rectangle. So here I want this side will be fixed. It will be not expand in the third direction, in this direction. So I want this use a fix this one. So when you fix this one, you can see that I'm not able to drag it in any way. I am able to drag in up and down over this side as well, over the bottom, but not from this side. So this is how the fixed constraint will be used. Now the midpoint constraint, the basic example. Let's say if I have some line like this, I want to just shift this line up to the midpoint of that. So simply select a line. If I select a line and select this line, it will be move the midpoint of this line to the midpoint of this line. Okay, the type of a coincide constraint. But if I select only Let me control Z and again use the midpoint constraint using the endpoint and this line. So it will move that endpoint over that particular midpoint of the particular sketch. Now after that we have an option for the concentric constraint. With the name you can easily understand. Okay, I have some kind of two circles like this. I want to make it concentric with each other. Select this, select both of them. It will make a concentric or apply the concentric constraint over there. Collinear constraint. So collinear constraint is also take an example. Let me have a I have a line like this. Let me expand that. I have a line. I want to make it collinear with one of the line or something. So just use a collinear. Select this one. So it will be make in a line of that particular one. Now, after that, we have an option for the symmetry. Now, in this symmetry, we will also talk about one more option. Let me take an example of a simple rectangle again. Now, here I need a one symmetry. Symmetry is basically what? Symmetry should be with respect to some particular reference. Okay. So let me take a one line. Okay. So generally, whatever the line or something we are using in this sketch is active in nature. Okay. Okay. That is a part of the sketch. But let's say if you do not want to be there's an active member of that your particular sketch. So you can convert that, just click on that line, right click, and you can simply turn into the normal center or normal constructional line. So when you can see that it will be converted into some dash line or something. So now you can say that it will be not a part of that particular sketch. So here I have defined the for the symmetry. So I need, okay, this part will be symmetric to this one. So now here with the help of that, you can see that this rectangular part is symmetric to that one. Now, after that, we have some more too that is generally used in some surface modeling and polygon. We have the direct option for using the polygon, so we can skip those. So these are the all the constraints we have discussed. I hope so that it will be helpful for you. Thank you. We will move to catch you in the next session. Thank you very much.